welcome back to Clothesline. My name is Oren and this is the Wednesday Night Wars. And in case you don't know, here's how it goes. I'm going to talk about 5 things that happened this week on AEW Dynamite, and I'm going to talk about 5 things that happened on NXT. Give a little overall review of both shows, and then I'm going to decide who won it for this week. So without further ado, let's start with AEW. First one we're going to talk about is, of course, the bombshell that has been dropped by Sammy Guevara as he announces that he's leaving the Inner Circle. And this has been brewing for a couple of months now, with Sammy Guevara warning Jericho if MJF tries one more thing to mess with his head, he will leave. And tonight he made good on his promise as he reached his boiling point. It started before Jericho and MJF's match against The Acclaim, when MJF tried to have a talk with Sammy Guevara. He tried reasoning with him, he tried to coercing him into saying that he wanted to control the Inner Circle, he even tried to record him on his phone. How diabolical. But Sammy was having none of that, and he punched him in the stomach. And then MJF shows up to his match with taped ribs. Taking it a bit too far, huh, Max? Anyway, from there we got a good tag team match between The Acclaim and the members of the Inner Circle, which in the end, Jericho wins with the Judas effect. After the match, Sammy Guevara suddenly reappears and tells Jericho, listen, I told you if MJF tries one more trick, I'm out of here. And thus, Sammy Guevara leaves the Inner Circle. I have to say, I'm quite shocked. Another good story that continued tonight was the story of Adam Page. And seriously, this looks like an episode of The Bachelor. But you know, when you have the Dark Order who did not get the rose from Adam Page, seeing him with a new guy, it's actually pretty funny. And just when you think that Matt Hardy was able to swindle Adam Page into signing a contract, you realize that at the very last second, Adam Page switched the contract and gave Matt Hardy a different one. And Matt Hardy actually tells the camera guy, I'm happy you're here, so we got this on tape. Sure, Matt, because making a guy sign a legal document while he's intoxicated, that will look great in court. Tonight we also saw the beginning of the AEW Women's Tournament when the first round came with Thunder Rosa took on legit Layla Hirsch. And this is what I wanted, women's competition getting proper time on television. And like I said, it was a good matchup, and in the end, Thunder Rosa beats Layla Hirsch to advance in the next round. It's not much, but it's a good base to start with to revamp and reboot the whole women's division in AEW. Now for the past couple of weeks, we have seen the same thing when it comes to Darby Allin and Sting and Team Taz. Sting and Darby Allin walk out to an interview, they get interrupted by Team Taz. And that happened over and over and over for the past couple of weeks. Well, tonight we got something different for a change. First off, I gotta give praises to the opening matchup of the show between Darby Allin and Joey Janela. That was a really good match. And Darby was able to retain his TNT Championship. Afterwards, when he's supposed to walk out with Sting to an interview with Tony Schiavone, he's nowhere to be found. And Team Taz show up on screen and they have shown they have kidnapped Darby Allin. They kidnapped Darby Allin, they put him in a body bag, and then they just tow him away in their truck. That's just, wow. And of course, we gotta talk about the main event. The main event brought us an Anything Goes tag team match between Kenny Omega and Kenta taking on Jon Moxley and Lance Archer. And lo and behold, they finally acknowledged the fact that Jon Moxley is the United States champion for New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's even walking to the ring with the title. It was a great sight to see, and we had a great match. Great matchup by all 4 men. Lance Archer looks like $1 million. But still, if you want to nitpick and ask why exactly is he doing here, there is no sense of him being in this matchup because of his wars with Moxley. They're not really friends. But I'll give it a pass because still, this was a good match. And in the end, the victory goes for Kenta as he pins Jon Moxley. That is a huge statement before their big matchup. So that was AEW. Let's see what happened on NXT. Well, we gotta talk about the Dusty Classic as the men's finals have been determined after tonight's show. The first semifinal, we got to see the team of MSK taking on the team of Legado de Fantasma. And this match was insane. This match was awesome. Seriously, I like the fact that Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza had really gelled together as a great tag team. And I can definitely see a tag team title reign in the future. But tonight, unfortunately, wasn't their night as MSK was able to pull off the victory and advance to the finals. On the other side, we have the team of Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa taking on the Grizzled Young Veterans. And I love the GYV. I love that tag team. I think they're phenomenal. And look at that. They have reached the finals for the 2nd year in a row. And they had a tremendous showing. But once again, I have no idea why Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa were in this tournament to begin with. So the finals are set with MSK taking on the Grizzled Young Veterans who reached the finals for the 2nd year in a row. And if I have to give you my pick, GYV all the way. It's funny that this is only the 2nd time in Dusty Cup history that the finals is built from 2 legitimate tag teams and not just random combinations. And from one Dusty Cup to the other, tonight we got the second semi-final in the Women's Dusty Classic as the team of Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon took on the team of The Way. The Way, of course, represented by Candice LeRae and Indie Wrestling, and it was a good match. It was a good match, and I'm seriously concerned for Indie Wrestling after that serious bump she took when Shotzi Blackheart landed on top of her. That looked painful. But nevertheless, Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon pick up the victory, and they will face Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez in the finals of the Dusty Women's Classic. And on top of that, my wish came true as we found out that the winner of the Women's Dusty Classic will also receive a future title shot at the Women's Tag Team titles. The next thing we're going to talk about is Johnny Gargano. Give that guy an Emmy, give that guy an Oscar, he is worth every penny. Tonight, Johnny Gargano showed up on NXT on a wheelchair with an arm brace after rumors have been circulating that he might be injured and may not be able to wrestle this Sunday. He shows up with The Way supporting him and on a wheelchair with an arm brace, and he's saying he's not medically cleared because Kushida attacked him last week. Of course, William Regal shows up. He invalidates everything Johnny says. He says, look, medical has cleared you. You're going to wrestle on Sunday. This, of course, leads up to Kushida attacking Johnny Gargano again. Johnny, of course, gets up from the chair, shows his arm is perfectly fine, and the match is back on. A great segment, a funny segment, and Johnny Wrestling stole the show. I've said it before, I am really curious to know where this Xia Li storyline is going. Tonight she had a good showing and made quick work of her opponent that they don't even name. After the match, both Casey and Kaden try to talk to her, trying to find out what the hell's going on. When Kaden is trying to approach the mysterious Tian Sha, she talks to her, tries to get some answers when Xia Li attacks. Xia Li attacks, almost breaks Kaden in half, and then Tian Sha almost kills Boa. It's a good storyline. I love it. I love how the way it progressed, and I can't wait to see where this goes next. And the final thing I want to talk about tonight is, of course, the return of Cameron Grimes. This was hysterical. This was amazing. Cameron Grimes returns loaded with money. He has a fancy car, he has fancy clothes, he walks into the arena, starts to spread money, and then he reveals he invested money in GameStop, which was astounding. Seriously, which one of the writers read a paper this morning? Because we have to make things consistent to make sure the fans know we're up to date with current events. And what's more current than the whole GameStop controversy? So those were both shows, but the question is, who was the better show? Truth be told, both shows were good and put off an excellent performance tonight, but I gotta admit, for my personal taste, NXT. I think they had a good build-up towards this Sunday's takeover, and they had a much stronger card than AEW did. But I gotta admit, I was pretty amused when they had the whole match graphic and then they had the persons in the match graphic facing off. It was like the battle menu from Injustice or maybe Mortal Kombat. But besides that, like I said, both shows were good, but for me, this week's winner is NXT. And that is our review. Now we would like to hear from you. Let us know in the comments below. Do you agree or disagree with our decision? Who do you think won this week's Wednesday Night Wars? We would love to hear your comments. And also, if you want to stay notified when I'm uploading these videos, hit a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification button. And I'll see you next time on another Wednesday Night Wars. Thank you for watching.